Hi, I'm Lana, one of the missionaries here in Thailand, and you're watching Covenant Leadership Podcast. Today we're talking about how to prosper in life, family, finance, and ministry with Elle Purvis and Becky Watson.
So welcome to our final episode in our series on how to prosper in life, family, work, and ministry. Hopefully you've learned something from our series. That's why you're back for the last one.
That's right.
And today we're talking about where to plant your resources. So here we're talking more about just being smart about planting your seed.
Yeah, getting it sorted out, because there's all kinds of places that you could give. I don't know if you're like me, but inundated by places you'd want to give, things you'd want to help, and requests. And so we want to be very clear about this, because as we finalize this series on how to prosper, because where we sow and where we give is really a key to what we receive back. And the options, or let's say the scale, is between, do I want to partner with something that's very fruitful, or do I want to give to a dire need? And there's everything in between on that scale. And benevolence is giving to a dire need, and it's a good thing.
Yes.
But that's different than partnering with someone who's doing something that's going to bear fruit to your account.
Yeah,
So-
one is more an investment and one is just a gift, right? And so I think you have to kind of pay attention to both, like, what do I want my seed to do? And there's a lot of things that we give to that we just invest in as we give to, like benevolence. Like, you just feel like there's a need, I can meet it, and that's great. And God blesses that type of giving too. But there also has to be seed that you sow as an investment, as a partnership, as something that you're committing to, because there's fruitfulness in that thing and you want to be a part of receiving that fruitfulness.
That's it. And Jesus said, the poor you always have with you, right? And so there is always that poor. But what we're looking for really, this, from my perspective, is how can we get those people from poverty into doing, on the same level, seeing themselves like we see ourselves, and, in the sight of God, as being able to prosper and accomplish something and do something amazing.
So then what would you say to people that are watching and say, okay, so what do I need to look for if I'm looking to invest as opposed to just give a gift of benevolence?
Well, the first thing you need to look for is vision. If there's no vision there, then it's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter how much money you pour into it. And then the clarity of the vision, and to understand in that vision, like, why is it that we do this? What is the process? What is actually going to happen? When we came to Thailand in the beginning, we had a purpose to rescue orphans, but that was step one.
Right.
And we knew that, and people that understood that, we're not just saving orphans, because we couldn't save them all.
Yeah.
But we are raising leaders out of people that have been discarded by by society or by the war or whatever it was, and we can raise leaders now that can actually rise up and do something. Of course, now we're in the generations where we're seeing our leaders, our kids, and others that have been raised up flourish across Asia. And the neat thing for me, Beck, is you go back into Canada, and we got people that have partnered with us now for almost 40 years.
So amazing.
And to be able to say, look, this is what we did together. I tell you what, that is so rewarding to be able to say, and here's the deal: when we left Canada, people partnered with us because of what we said we were going to do. They had no proof, but they could hear something coming out of our mouths that came from our heart. That was, we are going to go to Thailand, we're going to make a difference in these lives, these kids are going to raise them up, and who knows what's going to happen. Will you partner with us? And yes, they'll partner with us, and faithfully over the years partnered with us. And now, together, we're just reaping a tremendous harvest. So
that's part of the key for breaking out of the whole poverty mentality and breaking yourself out of that, is you've got to be partnering with something else too. So even for us as IPM Ministries, right, Income Producing Ministries here in Thailand, what we do out of income producing, we're actually partnering with other nations, and we partner with the Bible School, and we partner with other ministries, so that we're also reaping the benefits of that. Even though we are in need, right? There's so many things that we can do. Part of the key is to be partnering with people and with ministries that are bringing an investment in. And so it doesn't matter on what scale you are, full-time ministry, stay-at-home mom, student, whatever it is, and this is one of the things that I really wish I could speak to, the younger generation, is it doesn't matter how old you are, whether you're in junior high or in high school. If you have an allowance, if you have a part-time job, you should begin that habit of partnering with somebody for a future benefit, because the thing is, it breaks you out of your own narrow world. It breaks up a world that's bigger than you, and it also it shifts your perspective of being somebody who needs something to being somebody who's an answer for something, giving something, investing in something. And I think a lot of times we would feel I'm just speaking, remembering it myself as when I was younger. Sometimes you feel like your life is so insignificant, you know, but there's so much that you could do that would be of significance if you could just partner with something else to expand your vision and expand your horizon. And it's one of the things that we talk about when you have 7 weeks in Asia here. You know, we encourage our kids to come on 7 weeks in Asia. When you are finished 7 weeks in Asia, it's easy to go home and go back to life as normal, but you encourage them before they go home. Make sure you partner with a missionary, and there's a reason for that. It's not because they're $25 is going to make a huge difference. It is going to make a difference in the missionary's life, but it's the difference it makes in their life that's the key. So we give and we partner for the difference it makes in our lives. It's not the $25 or the $30. It's the connecting to vision, connecting to purpose, connecting to passion, and seeing how God uses our faithfulness in something small for his kingdom, and it's an amazing thing.
And you want to get me mad again? Just mention that, Beck, because you know what? The reason that you even have to tell these kids that is because they've never heard it before.
Yeah.
And 7 weeks in Asia, kids, they come and we talk about, she partnered with a missionary. Like, what? I've never heard of that before. And I mean, are you kidding?
Well,
Your dad's a pastor.
They hear it in church, but they don't hear it for themselves. Like, I can make the decision to partner, right? So it's that whole thing. We have to break ourselves out of our own inner world, out of our own always looking, and even as a ministry, it's really easy to end up just looking inward because we all see our own needs, we all see our own problems and our own challenges. But the fact of the matter is, if you can break out of seeing just yourself, the world becomes a much bigger place. It gives you a greater perspective. You see yourself as not in a dire position anymore, right? You see your ability to be an influence, to be a blessing. It breaks you out in greater creativity. You see things that other people are doing that now you're like, I can do that too, you know? And it just breaks you out of selfishness. And selfishness is such a limiting factor. And it's not that any of us mean to be selfish. It just happens very naturally. So one of the ways that we get to deal with that is by partnering and sowing seed in something long-term that is going to bring an investment in your life.
Yeah, that's it. So when the farmer looks in the pantry and there's nothing in there, what does he do? He sows. You know, there's no sense pining away or going to your neighbors or whatever. You reap what you sow, and that's the whole deal. We've got to keep sowing. Doesn't matter how much we're without, we just keep sowing.
That's right.
You know, the emptier our fridge is, the more we give.
You don't give based on what you have to give. You give based on your faith and based on what you believe that God is going to do. Because if it was just based out of what you have, all of us could have good reason not to give.
Totally,
you know?
so totally.
But
true.
the fact of the matter is, the more generous we are, the more that God blesses us. And I just want to end with just the story of some of our students in Bible school. They've graduated last year that are involved in our worship team, and they've seen how our worship team operates. And a lot of our leaders are very, very generous. They buy equipment, they do a lot of different things. And I remember them saying, we're watching the way that you guys lead, and so we're the same. So as broke students, they would be very generous. Always whenever there was an offering, they would give. And, you know, they've come through this whole progression now where, you know, they own their own vehicles, they're starting their own business. God is just blessing them and prospering them in ways of just understanding and wisdom and dealing with people and having great ideas and wisdom. And it's just amazing to see them prosper. But they will tell you that prosperity came out of watching the generosity of our leaders and mimicking that generosity, copying that idea that we're not less than, we're not broke, we're not those that are without, but we're those that can give and we're those that can partner. And they are the most generous guys, and I'm seeing God bless them in ways that are just so amazing. And so he can do that for you too. It's not a hard, difficult secret society only a few can enter in. You know, every one of us has that opportunity to be generous if we can break off poverty in our thinking, break it out of our wallets by being generous, see what God can do through you and in you.
What else can we say? Do it. I mentioned in this episode about some of the people that have partnered with us back from the very beginning, and other partners have come on board through the years. And the tremendous crop of harvest that we have reaped together is absolutely amazing, and it's so heart-touching for me. And you know, I could cry about what we need and what we don't have and how limited we are and all of those kind of things, and every one of us could if we're looking in the wrong direction. But the direction we're looking in is the vision that God has given us, the purpose that He's put in our hearts, and the passion. And so that's what attracts people. And I want you to know that there's something in your heart today that's attracting you to what's going on in Asia, and there's a tremendous opportunity for you to now become a partner. If you're not a partner, if you are a partner, we're just so thankful. If you need to be a partner, let's do this thing. Contact us at www.victoryasia.com. Everything's right on there, and let's do this together. Let's do something amazing across Asia.
If you want to know more about what we do, you can check out our social media links down below. The music that you're listening to is produced by Victory Worship Band. You can check out their album on iTunes. We want to give you an opportunity to partner with us, so check that Give Now button. Thanks for watching.